Acquitted. A Windsor police officer cleared of all sexual assault charges. Mayor's message.
We want our town to look clean. This is one way we can help work together to make the town clean.
Think twice before turning public bins into private dumpsters. And supporting Camp Day.
100% of those proceeds go straight to the camps.
Turning coffee into life-changing opportunities.
CTV News with Stefanie Masotti.
Her decision is the proper verdict for Staff Sergeant Price.
Decision delivered following a 5-day trial into historical sex offenses laid against a Windsor police officer. Staff Sergeant Ken Price has been acquitted of all sexual assault charges. Michelle Molesky joining us now with our top story tonight. Michelle.
Yeah, Stephanie, for the last 13 months, Price has been suspended from work with pay. Today, he was found not guilty to 4 counts of sexual assault. One word.
Relieved.
Is how defense lawyer Dan Scott describes his client's emotions moments after being acquitted of 4 counts of sexual assault. Staff Sergeant Ken Price was charged last June for alleged offenses between 2011 and 2015. The female complainant alleged Price inappropriately touched her on 4 separate occasions, along with other allegations of sexually explicit commentary.
Are you able to say at all how the complainant is feeling at all?
Of course, not pleased and disappointed by the result.
Assistant Crown Attorney Nicholas de Montigny says they have 30 days to consider an appeal.
As with any case, the Crown will be considering whether to proceed on that route, and as such, the matter is before the courts, and I can't comment any further at this time.
While the judge found Price's testimony at trial to be self-serving and dismissive, she also found some of the complainant's evidence lacked common sense. I'm not finding that the complainant lied, Justice Jennifer Myers said. I find it highly likely that Mr. Price sexually harassed the complainant, but that's not what I'm here to decide.
The courts never want a complainant to feel bad about coming forward and testifying. I don't read anything into that. My opinion, for what it's worth, was that the evidence was very much different.
The judge said the Crown failed to prove beyond reasonable doubt the assaults occurred. And even if he likely sexually assaulted her, that is not enough for me, the judge said. Police Association President Kent Rice sat through the entire trial.
We need to adhere to the principles assumption of innocence until proven guilty and the integrity of the law and how it works for everyone. It's a process and nobody is above it. And in this case, it was the proper verdict.
The woman no longer works as an auxiliary officer for the Windsor Police Service. A court-ordered publication ban protecting the identity of the complainant remains in place in spite of today's acquittal. Stephanie.
Okay, Michelle Molesky with our top story tonight. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Also tonight, a busy night for Windsor Police on Monday, where 3 impaired driving arrests is in just under 1 hour, and that was just the start. That trio of arrests coming in separate back-to-back incidents. One driver was flagged at the border, another reversed into a ditch on Central Avenue. The third was found stumbling near Ottawa Street. Each one now faces impaired driving charges. And that same night, a disturbing encounter in a Riverside Drive park. In a case where over the weekend, a 13-year-old boy is now facing charges after allegedly pointing a handgun at a woman in Walkerville. It happened Saturday night in the parking lot of Langlois Avenue. The teen turned himself in the next day in London and is now charged with assault with a weapon and possession of a weapon. No one was physically hurt. And a vehicle set ablaze in South Windsor is being investigated as arson. That also happened Monday. You can find more details on all of these investigations and the latest police updates at CTV News Windsor.ca. A crash on the water off Walpole Island sent 4 people to hospital and sparked a community rescue effort. Emergency crews rushed to the Johnston River near Johnston Bay after 2 boats collided over the weekend. 4 people were pulled from the water by nearby boaters and taken to hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. OPP say they're still looking into the cause of the crash, but they're thanking everyone who stepped in to help during the chaotic scene. Now, it started as a concept to bring health care to Windsor's homeless community. Now that model has officially been validated with provincial support to keep it going. CTV's Bob Belichico joins us now to explain what this means for Shelter Health and the people that it serves. Bob.
Hi, Stefanie. Yeah, so the concept of Shelter Health came together in 2021 and has developed into what it is today. This announcement basically confirms the model and allows it to move forward.
We've seen real success stories.
The Windsor Shelter Health Association was formed in 2021 to deliver health care to those experiencing homelessness. The proof of concept model received in-kind support from Windsor Regional Hospital, CMHA, and the City of Windsor. The provincial government came on board last year, providing close to $3.9 million in funding through 2026.
The additional funding means sustainability.
The investment follows the government's recent approval of a homeless shelter alternate payment plan, or APP agreement, for local physicians. The group of Windsor physicians is one of 4 in Ontario receiving the designation and funding.
This funding is the starting funding, and I have a strong feeling that we'll see each other again on this in the future.
The funding allows for 11 physicians, 8 general practitioners, and 3 specialists to continue delivering care to each of the 5 key locations in town, including the Salvation Army Men's Emergency Shelter, the Homelessness and Housing Help Hub, or H4, the Welcome Center Shelter for Women and Families, the Downtown Mission of Windsor, Journey Home Hospice, and various housing and supports sites. Shelter Health Medical Director Dr. Jennifer Bondi says they are seeing more patients who can walk in with no appointment.
When we build trust, then we can encourage people to continue to come in, and that is going to lead to improved outcomes, more preventative care, and so a lot less catching up afterwards, which is good for the healthcare system in general.
The initial stream of government funding has helped physicians provide over 5,000 visits across all shelters. They are seeing, on average, about 200 unique patients a month.
We've seen improvement in medication adherence and better follow-up on both chronic issues and acute health issues.
Officials have seen a reduction in emergency department use for issues now addressed at shelter sites instead.
There's a lot of good work going on across the province, and I think it's important to lean on what we know works and continue building in that way.
So Dr. Bondi is always looking for ways to expand on this model. One of the things she'd like to do is identify more partnerships inside the community. She'd also like to know what other sites could be served and find ways to make that happen. Stefanie?
Great questions. Okay, Bob Belichico tonight. Thank you, Bob. Changes are coming to Windsor Regional Hospital leadership and the need for a new permanent CEO on the horizon. David Mouget has confirmed he won't be returning, staying on indefinitely as supervisor at London Health Sciences, where fiscal challenges run deeper than expected. Acting president and CEO Karen Rydell will also be retiring no later than March 31st of next year. The hospital's board says a search for both a new CEO and a new chief nursing executive. Rydell's other role will begin later this summer. CTV meteorologist Gary Archibald joining me now for a first look at the weather from the top of the Bell Building, where, Gary, we are talking about heavy rain and the possibility of thunderstorms.
Actually, I snuck back in. I'm in studio, but what you would see earlier today from outside, some cloud building and vertical ascension. Once it goes vertical, we know we're dealing with a very unstable atmosphere, and some of these clouds turned nasty with some thunderstorm activity, and much of that still within our airspace or very close to it. We have a secondary cold front that's sweeping through Lake Michigan and headed our way. And that means we are in and out of showers and or thunderstorm activity with gusty winds and heavy downpours for the next few hours. In fact, it could go as late as 10 or 11 p.m. tonight. I'll break down what you need to know and see if there's any temperature and humidity relief for tomorrow and beyond. It's coming up. For now, I'll send it back to you at the desk.
At the Nextstar plant, Unifor Local 444 announcing a first ever tentative collective agreement has been reached and bills it as a historic achievement for the sector. The union says the deal sets the bar for Canada's electrified sector. A ratification vote is set for Sunday at the Chicharo Club, with about 500 Nextstar employees taking part. Results are expected that afternoon. Unifor Local President 444 James Stewart tells CTV News sister radio station AM 800 that this is a deal that's been worked on since November.
There's been a lot of, headwinds. We've dealt with the whole tariff war with the United States. We've dealt with a U.S. president that's changed the direction on green energy and EVs. It's been a real challenging bargaining session to get to where we're at today, but the members have been feeling that in just insecurity for their roles and their jobs on the products they build.
The Canada-U.S. trade war is already having an impact on some Canadian auto businesses. A survey from the Canadian Federation of Independent Business shows the revenue of nearly 190 small to medium-sized businesses in the auto sector has declined by 13% on average. It says half of them reported they have paused or canceled investments because of uncertainty caused by the trade war and tariffs. Now, separately, the Canadian Federation of Independent Business is urging Ontario to restructure its auto industry support programs. A new CFIB report says while the province has funneled aid to hundreds of companies, more than a third of small to medium-sized firms aren't eligible for any funding. The group says the programs were created with good intentions, but are geared more towards large manufacturers. Missing the smaller suppliers hit hardest by trade uncertainty and paused investments. They want a more inclusive approach moving forward. The Prime Minister was in Hamilton this morning, where he had a message for Canada's steel industry. He said Canada will become its own best customer as he introduced new measures to support the sector. CTV's Heather Wright has the story.
This Hamilton, Ontario steel fabricator has been in business for 70 years and had been sending nearly 70% of its products south of the border. Now that number is close to zero.
This is Steel Town for a reason.
Today, the Prime Minister was in Hamilton announcing measures to help Canada's steel industry. By the end of the month, Ottawa will tighten the quota for steel coming from countries without a free trade agreement like China and Turkey to half of 2024 levels. Anything beyond that will face a tariff of 50%. This measure is aimed at reducing foreign steel that has flooded the Canadian market, much of it diverted here after the United States imposed tariffs on the global steel industry in March. And with Canadian steel producers effectively shut out of the U.S., Mark Carney says this will help them sell their products domestically.
For Canada to build big things fast, we need our steel industry to advance, not retreat.
As Canada embarks on massive infrastructure spending, the Prime Minister also announced that any companies bidding on government projects will have to use Canadian steel.
We will change the federal government's procurement process to require companies contracting with the federal government to source Canadian steel for government contracts.
The tightened quota and increased support for laid-off workers announced today come after the steel industry said measures announced last month didn't go far enough.
We got things going on south of the border. We can't control all of that. But what we can control is here in Canada. Let's make Canada the best.
Asked about ongoing trade negotiations with the United States, the Prime Minister would not say what level of tariffs Canada would accept, nor would he say whether Canada would impose additional retaliatory tariffs on U.S. goods. He said both were good questions, but said answering them in the midst of trade talks would be a bad response. Heather Wright, CTV News, Hamilton, Ontario.
Frustration coming from Essex Town Hall tonight with reports people in town are abusing public trash cans. While the street side bins are meant for emptying your pockets or tossing a coffee cup, Mayor Sherry Bondi says some are cramming them full. CTV's Chris Campbell joins us now from Uptown Essex with more on the mayor's message and why it matters. Chris.
Yes, Stefanie. Mayor Bondi says these public garbage bins are being filled with household trash bags and even things like broken picture frames. That misuse is causing extra work for town staff and could affect local businesses too. Today I spoke with the mayor and residents about what they're seeing and what they'd like to see change. They're supposed to be for things like coffee cups, gum wrappers, or pet waste. But lately, some people have been treating these public bins like their own personal dump sites.
I've seen bags of garbage. People are literally putting bags of garbage, of their home garbage, beside our municipal pails. They're taking, bags of, the white kitchen catchers full of their home garbage, putting it in here. One or two of those bags, a municipal garbage is full. Mayor Sherry Bondi shared her frustration in a public post to social media and tells CTV News the trend is unfair to town staff and local taxpayers. When you see it once or twice, you're like, okay, maybe that's just once or twice. Maybe the people are moving. But when you see it on a regular basis, it seems to almost be habits for some people. Bondi says the bins fill up quickly when misused, sometimes spilling over, creating more work for town staff to clean. We want our town to look clean. This is one way we can help work together to make the town clean.
I see all the time people pull up their cars and they got a couple bags and they're dropping them in.
People in town say they've noticed the problem too, and they're on board with the mayor's message.
I don't think that should be done.
There's no need for it. You can put it out to the road.
It's too bad when we have garbage pickup at our houses. And if you live in an apartment building, they always have a bin for you. So there's no need to put it on Main Street.
I think there should be a fine if you get caught. Something small, but just to say, we have the facilities to do it properly and we don't need to do this.
The town says it's not looking to penalize anyone just yet, but hopes residents will think twice before turning public bins into private dumpsters. We haven't talked about fines yet. Hopefully it doesn't get to that. We'll see. It's one of these things that we're monitoring. Right now, currently, we have employees scheduled once a week to empty garbages. But the more full they get faster, that's more employee hours. And it all comes into play at budget time. The mayor says most residents use these bins the right way. It only takes a few missteps to cause a mess. The town is encouraging anyone who spots illegal dumping to report it. Stefanie?
Okay, Chris Campbell tonight. So this raises our question of the day. Have you ever seen someone misusing a public garbage can? Go to our website to cast your vote, ctvnewswindsor.ca. Yesterday we asked, are you enjoying the hot and humid summer? The majority say nope. Now, remember that big construction project on Front Road in LaSalle that was set to disrupt traffic starting this week? Well, it's been delayed, but not for long. The town says the Front Road storm sewer rehab project is now expected to begin in about 2 weeks. They say crews are still waiting for materials to arrive. The work was originally set to start on Monday, and when it kicks off, commuters can expect lane reductions and turning restrictions, with completion slated for the spring. Kingsville has shot down a tourism tax that already is in place in Windsor. The town's council has decided not to move forward with a municipal accommodation tax, aka an extra fee that would be applied to hotels and short-term rentals. Tourism Windsor Essex Pelee Island has been pitching the tax across the region, saying revenue would be split up between them and the municipality. But Kingsville's administration raised concerns, including a lack of clarity on enforcement, administration costs, and how TWEPI would spend the money. Public feedback also came back largely against it. TWEPI is asking for a final answer from all municipalities by August 31st. LaSalle, Tecumseh, Essex, Amherstburg, Lakeshore, and Leamington have not given their final answers as of yet. Well, we are officially in the dog days of summer, so a downtown Windsor event is looking to unleash some fun. The Downtown BIA is partnering and hosting a family and dog-friendly event near City Hall this Sunday, a celebration of man's best friend, which will include entertainment and food trucks. There will also be a four-legged fashion show and an obedience competition.
Our goal is to try to get as much as we possibly can to donate to the Humane Society and the St. John's Ambulance Therapy Dogs. So I encourage everybody to please come out in large numbers with the family. It's a free event. So yeah, please come out for that.
Camp Day drawing many to Tim Hortons for a good cause and their morning coffee, of course. AM 800 and CTV News team members were on hand at this location on alert this morning, helping to raise some money to send youth to camp. Tim's has been holding Camp Day since 1991. Last year, they raised almost $13 million across Canada, but the giving doesn't just have to be on one particular day on the calendar.
So all throughout the year, we have the coin boxes. 100% of those proceeds go straight to the camps. And yeah, anytime you can, realistically, you can donate. It doesn't just have to be the 2 weeks leading up or the day of.
Still ahead on Windsor's news leader. A court challenge takes aims at Ontario's fast-track law. Why First Nations say Bill 5 puts their rights at risk.
We do have an aircraft that has been hijacked.
A wild runway chase after a pilot claims to have hijacked a small plane near Vancouver. The chaos it caused in the sky still ahead. Tomorrow, fresh off a buzzer beater in Brazil, a Canadian Paralympian comes home to Windsor and talks qualifying for World Championships. That's tomorrow at 6 on CTV News. First Nations are fine-tuning their expectations ahead of a key meeting with the Prime Minister. The summit was called in a bid to ease concerns about a contentious major projects law that Indigenous stakeholders say fast-tracks development without their consent. CTV's Rachel Aiello reports.
First Nations leaders set expectations today for tomorrow's big gathering in Gatineau.
This is not consultation. This is a first meeting of many. This discussion will be led by us.
The Prime Minister organized the meeting to discuss the implementation of Bill C-5 after Indigenous stakeholders felt their rights were not respected in the rush to pass it through Parliament. They now want Carney to listen.
We're going to give him the benefit of the doubt that he produces tomorrow.
I'm a bit more cynical. I do agree. I mean, just look at the process.
9 Ontario First Nations, though, aren't waiting, launching a legal challenge to the federal law and a similar provincial plan to try and prevent both governments from using their new powers to sidestep existing protections.
These bills from Ontario and Canada show that the Crown has no interest in reconciliation.
Today, Carney was asked,
have your belated consultations jeopardized the goal of getting new projects built?
Well, first, no.
He went on to say tomorrow's talks are about engaging on how to work together in the future.
What are the priorities? That's before any consultation on any specific project.
The Ontario government is also consulting First Nations this summer, with Premier Doug Ford's office promising to build consensus around projects that support prosperity. And Carney has additional plans to have conversations with Inuit and Métis leaders in the coming weeks. Rachel Aiello, CTV News, Gatineau.
Construction on new homes in Canada last month edged up 0.4% compared to May. The annual housing start rate amounted to nearly 284,000 units in June. That was an increase of about 1,000 from the previous month. The Canada Mortgage and Housing Corporation also says the annual pace of rural starts was estimated at roughly 22,000 units. Now, a warning about the risk of cryptocurrency investing. Make sure the site you're using is legitimate. As CTV's Pat Bourne reports, there are plenty of scammers out there, and they're using AI to dupe you.
We got stung big time.
Donald and Ghislaine Perkins of Ottawa say it was in January when they saw a video of then Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland. She appeared to be talking about an investment opportunity that could make them rich.
I urge each of you to seize this opportunity and register for the project. I personally guarantee the safety of your funds.
We bought into it, and we got swindled by a very smooth-talking couple of individuals.
The Perkins started out investing just a few $100s, but eventually handed over their life savings of more than $42,000.
When we went to access the money, they wouldn't give it to us and said that we had to give them $10,000.
Mark Carney came on with a woman that is very prominent in the bank system.
Brenda Dion of Whitby invested in cryptocurrencies after watching a deep-fake video of Prime Minister Mark Carney.
Make your initial deposit. From that point on, the algorithm earns on your behalf.
Dion says after she handed over her banking information, the fraudsters cleaned out her bank account of $16,000.
I said, I don't want you taking this money out of my account. I said, stop taking my money.
Fraudsters are using fraudulent ads on social media to get victims.
The Canadian Anti-Fraud Centre says Canadians lost $310 million to investment scams last year, and $190 million involved cryptocurrency scams. Most frauds involved altered video using AI to make it appear someone is saying to invest in a platform which is completely fake.
If you're opening up your search engine and you're searching up a crypto investment, that the first 5 to 10 results, are going to be more than likely fraudulent platforms.
The Perkins have health problems and were hoping to boost their retirement savings, but instead lost it all.
I have a bag in my stomach, and I go to dialysis 3 times a week. This was a good portion of our life savings.
Pat Foran, CTV News.
Canada's main stock index was up today on the strength of gains in the tech sector. In Toronto, the TSX gained 99 points. In New York, the Dow added 231, the Nasdaq up 53. The Canadian dollar was essentially unchanged with a loss of 1/100th of a cent. On commodity markets, gold moved up more than $22 an ounce and oil lost 18 cents a barrel.
Kids have swum there for years. That's where they learn to swim.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else here for the kids to do.
Coming up on Windsor's News Leader, a Michigan lakefront dries up. What's to blame for the sudden drawdown?
Let's take a look at our CTV News weather snapshot. Thanks to Mr. Harrison for sending in this image. Our squirrel friends seeking the shade from the sun in the heat and humidity, and thunderstorms, they could get wet too. And we'll find out a weather story coming up.
Look at the skies at around 1:20 this afternoon. Gary joins me again for an extended look.
Some of those clouds erupting, thunderstorms, localized. Some areas didn't see much of anything except a mixture of sun and cloud, mostly cloudy conditions at that. But some areas did see pocket thunderstorms moving through the region this afternoon. It was hot and humid. Perfect fuel for the storms, obviously. High, close to 29 degrees Celsius so far today. We're holding at 28 right now with mostly cloudy conditions in Windsor, 82 Fahrenheit. Cooler in Chatham-Kent, 26 degrees Celsius. But the actual, now cooler in terms of the actual ambient temperature, when you combine humidity and temperature, you get humidex. What it feels like, much warmer, between 36 and 39, close to 40 between Windsor, Essex, and Chatham-Kent. Much cooler across the beautiful Canadian prairies. The northern half of the great province of Ontario is much cooler. 16 degrees in Thunder Bay. It's 31 in Toronto, so you get the idea. We are in the warm sector, a good southwesterly flow of air, obviously very energized. Unstable air producing showers and thunderstorms across Lake Erie and extreme southwestern Ontario. We are in and out of those thunderstorms. The heat warning still continues, of course, as mentioned. We've been talking about it. But a special weather statement about the threat of thunderstorms with heavy downpours, very strong gusty winds, maybe even some hail between now and about 9-10 p.m. tonight. maybe beyond that point. Here's the breakdown for tonight, in fact. 24 degrees at 8 p.m. feels like 33. It is a very sultry night, warm and humid through to midnight. And the probability of a thunderstorm or shower, about 60 to 70%. So we're in and out of active weather over the next several hours. Thursday, more rain and still warm, although we may not be in the heat warning. The criteria may not be met. 27, however, as the high, feels like 35. Back into sunshine, cooler and more comfortable for Friday. High of 24, low of 14. The weekend's mostly cloudy. Showers likely on Sunday, possibly maybe even a thunderstorm. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 28, 32, 31. Cloudy at times. We're going to warm up next week, but we'll get a break come Friday. Let's look at your weather.
Lifetime, brought to you by Safeguard Medical Alert Systems.
Researchers at Guelph University are working to protect Canadian poultry from avian flu, and in doing so, they're hoping to shield our human population as well. CTV's health reporter Pauline Chan explains.
In the U.S., poultry are vaccinated against avian flu, but in Canada?
There are different countries, including like China or Mexico, that they have like vaccination strategies actively being performed. But Canada is one of those countries that does not vaccinate.
Veterinarian and Guelph University researcher Fatima Fazel says it allows Canada to export poultry products to other countries which may have different regulations. But that isn't stopping Guelph U researchers from developing a new mRNA vaccine to protect chickens from avian flu.
It encodes for two main surface protein of avian influenza. And then when chickens are vaccinated with these mRNA codes, chickens like cells start to translate this mRNA code to protein. So when the actual virus infects the chicken, a chicken's immune system is already informed about those like sequences. So it starts to respond much faster and more robust to prevent virus replication and virus shedding.
Avian flu has hit many flocks in the U.S. and Canada. It has also affected dairy cattle, and one U.S. farm worker has died of the illness. But the virus has not yet shown the ability to be transmitted from human to human, something the Canadian Medical Association journal warns could be just around the corner.
If it becomes transmissible from human to human, we are looking at another huge public health crisis.
Fazel says it's impossible to say if human-to-human transmission of avian flu is inevitable, but as U.S. Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. proposes a policy of allowing avian flu to work its way through American flocks instead of culling infected birds, Fazel says Canadians must be prepared.
If we have that susceptible chicken population, it replicates much faster, and viruses have the time to mutate and find ways to adapt to mammalians or human.
So limiting the spread of avian flu helps chickens and ultimately humans as well. Pauline Chan, CTV News.
Lakefront property in one Michigan community has disappeared, and a city beach has been drained after a potential dam failure. NBC reporter Ken Kolker shows us what happened and how residents feel about it.
I'm on the White River just downstream from the dam, where you can see it's lined with goo, and it's anything but white.
It's muddy.
Linda Carroll has fished the river not far below the dam where she lives for 25 years. Great for little brown trout, she says.
The river is what drew me up here, because I love to fish. I like to be by the water.
Yeah.
I got a little bench down there. I sit and just enjoy you can hear the water.
Yeah.
It's very tranquil.
And the water, she says, was crystal clear.
The water level's nice, but the mud, not so much. I can't see the fish. I can't see the rocks to get in there to wade.
Yeah.
Because if you need to see where you're going to fish.
The city-owned White Cloud Dam, first built 150 years ago, is one of two on the 89-mile-long White River, which starts in northern Newaygo County and empties into Lake Michigan near Montague and Whitehall. But the State Department of Environment, Great Lakes and Energy deemed the dam unsafe, a potential risk to lives downstream, and recently threatened legal action and fines up to $10,000 a day if the city refused to lower the water and ease the pressure. The dam was rebuilt in 1990 after breaking during the flood of 1986. Late last month, city crews started lowering the water level a foot a day, dropping it more than 5 feet. On the backside of the dam, Lake White Cloud is nearly dry, with the river flowing through it. Lakefront properties are no longer lakefront. The city beach is empty.
And all the neighborhood kids swim there. Kids have swum there for years. That's where they learn to swim.
Yeah.
And there's nothing else here for the kids to do.
More than 8 miles downstream,
Yeah, normally it's crystal clear.
the river is also brown, though not as thick, and lined in spots with the goo.
And you can see it all along.
Pam Driscoll fears the cloudy water could harm wildlife.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions and a lot of concerns. And my big thing is if they're going to be doing more and more dams, they better do it right. These are our waterways.
In a telephone interview, a supervisor of the state's dam safety unit told Target 8 the amount of sediment flowing downstream has led to a pause in the lowering of the dam. He says the water could take weeks to clear up.
After the break, they're tightening the reins and heading for the starting gate. We've got the season scoop on Leamington Raceway. They're off to the races. Well, almost. Harness racing set to make its return to Leamington next month. The Lakeshore Horse Racing Association is gearing up for another season at Leamington Raceway with 13 Sunday race dates on the 2025 calendar. Association members have been working on the track, grandstand, and paddock in preparation. Representatives say they're hoping to build on last year's success, which saw crowds nearing 800 and a peak wagering day of $86,000.
Our attendance has gone up each year, and our betting's gone up each year. So we're looking forward to another big season. We go down to Toronto and say, hey, look at our attendance. Hey, look at our betting. We broke the record twice last year for total betting, and we're seeking to gain a few more days if we can. Hopefully next year we'll have even more than our 13 Sundays.
History was made at the MLB All-Star Game last night when the score was tied after 9 innings in Atlanta.
AL rallied in the game. NL has rallied in the swing-off. And it's Schwarber with the hat trick.
With the game tied 6-6, the teams went to a swing-off for the first time at the Midsummer Classic. Philadelphia's Kyle Schwarber hit 3 home runs, leading the National League to a 4-3 victory. The Phillies slugger picked up MVP honors, becoming the first position player to win the award without recording a hit in a game. The Detroit Tigers sent a franchise record 6 players to the game, but their batters went 0 for 8. Soccer fans hoping to attend the 2026 World Cup in Toronto and elsewhere can start applying for tickets on September 10th. Fans are being encouraged to visit FIFA.com/tickets to register. Tickets will be released in phases due to anticipated high demand and will continue to the tournament final. They start at $2,500 for a single game package. Canada will host 13 games, including 6 in Toronto. To the basketball court now, where the WNBA has named an expansion team from Portland, Oregon. Announced this week, the team will go by Portland Fire. That's the same name that was held by the city's WNBA team from 2000 to 2002. The league awarded Portland with the league's 15th team last year. Guess who's back, this time on the big screen?
What's your first question?
A new documentary titled Stands dives into the intense devotion of Eminem's biggest fans. The 2-hour film features never-before-heard tracks and takes its name from the rapper's iconic 2000 hit about an obsessive fan. There's no word yet on Canadian release plans, but it hits AMC theaters in the U.S. August 7th, including 5 locations just across the border in Metro Detroit. Hey, if you hear something worth sharing with the community, why not send it our way? Text us your news tips, pictures, and videos to 10400.
This is your CTV Windsor, our community calendar. On Saturday, August 16th, join in on the fun at Burt Weeks Garden for the Tim Hortons Night Run for Maryvale, presented by the Running Factory. See you next time on Our Community.
It's time to check in on what's happening now with Melanie Kettner. And Melanie, returning to our top story tonight about the officer acquitted today.
Stefanie, Staff Sergeant Ken Price may have been acquitted, but he is still under investigation. The Windsor Police Service confirmed today an investigation is ongoing under the Police Service Act by the Professional Standards Branch. As such, officials will not say when Price can return to work. He's been off with pay since last June, when the SIU laid the sexual assault charges. Association President Kent Rice says it's been a long and stressful year for both the complainant and Price.
This is very taxing time for both the victim in this matter, the complainant, and also for Staff Sergeant Price. It's to a level of anxiety and stress, media relations that people in the public cannot just fathom.
We've got those details and more online at ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And we've also got a story online, Melanie, about a bizarre altercation in Chatham.
Yes, and 2 women are now facing charges. Police say a 55-year-old woman burned a 34-year-old woman with a cigarette. The younger woman allegedly retaliated with bear spray. Both were arrested and released with a court date. You can see more police stories on our website. And in our social spotlight, when a surprise birthday party visit goes wrong. Oh no, see, Hulk smash turned into Hulk crash. It was that big toe that tripped him up though. The funniest part is the chaos afterwards, Stefanie.
You know what, that can't be an easy job. Hot in there, can't see where it's walking, but I bet eventually some of the kids were superheroes of their own and helped the Hulk up.
Yeah, I hope so.
Okay, thank you, Melanie, and that's what's happening now. And the force is strong with this auction item. Darth Vader's lightsaber is going up for sale.
You are unwise to lower your defenses.
The actual prop used in The Empire Strikes Back and The Return of the Jedi is part of Prop Store's next entertainment memorabilia live auction. The pre-sale estimate $1 to $3 million. Other key items up for bid: Harrison Ford's bull whip and belt from Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, Sauron's helmet from The Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Ring, and a neuralizer from Men in Black. The auction is in September.
I didn't really think about it too much, but after a second, I kind of like, that was kind of loud for a fish.
Still to come tonight, a splash in the creek and then a desperate fight to survive. The quick-thinking brothers who saved a kitten tossed from a bridge.
There.
Yeah, oh, you just stepped on my toes.
Sorry, I didn't mean to, but there was a little pause there.
I know you're very passionate about the weather.
I am.
We get it.
You saw that? I had to burst out and say, dynamic clouds. But they're bringing some showers and thunderstorms too. So, I mean, from another perspective, not so great. We don't want to see anybody getting into a unfortunate circumstance. Area roads with ponding, we've seen that last week with heavy downpours and localized flash flooding. Thunderstorms still threatened through to at least 10, 11 tonight, and then again tomorrow. See temperatures drop to about 27, then 24 and sunny on Friday. The weekend's mostly cloudy, mid to upper 20s, and then temperatures will average about 30 degrees. Next week, we are still warm, obviously, because it's July after all. But keep the umbrella nearby. It's going to be rainy.
Okay, thank you. Ricardo, we're talking about some new data tonight.
Yeah, from Statistics Canada, Stefanie, painting a pretty rosy picture for automakers and for car dealers. StatsCan reports car sales are up year over year for May, and dealerships in Windsor, Essex are reporting a surge in cars leaving the lot, but at least one analyst is throwing a little bit of cold water on any optimism that those figures might bring. Our Robert Lothian is going to bring us a look at that story tonight at 11. Steph.
Okay, thank you for our last story tonight. A pair of brothers in North Carolina set off for a day of summer fishing and ended up pulling something very unexpected from the creek. A cat, they say, was the catch of the day. NBC's Elise Sandlin reports.
A loud splash followed by a creature struggling in the water.
I looked back for a second. I saw the splash right out there in the middle. I didn't really think about it too much, but after a second, I kind of was like, that was kind of loud for a fish.
That's what brothers 15-year-old Lane and 10-year-old Aiden Rouse saw when fishing at Contentnia Creek. It's something they do regularly, but they didn't expect their encounter with a furry friend on Wednesday afternoon.
And Aiden was like, look, Lane, and I looked back and it was something swimming in the water.
The boys say they believe someone threw this kitten off Green Street Bridge in Snow Hill.
Well, it's not right. Like, that's one of God's creatures.
Lane and Aiden were able to get the cat to swim to shore, where they pulled her from the banks to rescue her.
It was really wet and muddy. I could tell it was still kind of scared.
The boys brought the cat home, where they were able to bathe her and get her to eat.
She started purring a little bit, and I could tell she had calmed down some.
The boys say she was very sweet and gentle, and they can't imagine why anyone would toss an animal off of a bridge.
Like, hard to think about someone could do that.
Lane says his family brought her to Greene County Animal Shelter, and although they were unavailable for an interview today, Lane says the cat is now warm and safe and available for adoption.
This cat definitely has 9 lives. Horrific to hear that.
Yeah, great to see the kids stepping up and helping out the little kitty.
Unbelievable, someone throwing a cat over a bridge. I mean...
But to leave it on a positive note, it is happy and healthy.
It's still unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take it home tonight.
A lot prettier now. It was looking like Gollum when it was coming up on the shore.
that's
Not
true.
great.
Good swimmer.
Yeah, good swimmer indeed. Okay, on behalf of our dedicated team here at CTV News Windsor, thank you for watching.
For updates throughout the evening, go to ctvnewswindsor.ca.
And I'll see you again tonight at 11 for a late look at local news.
Good night.
Good night.